Soca artist Sedale is back on the scene after a break from last season. The young performer refers to his absence as a much-needed sabbatical for some introspection. We sat down with Sedale about his return, his hit Bumper Hunter, and his expanding clothing line as he ventures deeper than soca.
I had to take myself away from the industry for a while to reevaluate myself as an individual and as a soca artist, with the hopes of ultimately becoming a better individual and a better artist. It was sort of like a spiritual journey, I like to consider it. So I believe I definitely achieved what I sought out to do. I believe that I have definitely become a better individual and a better artist. And I think a lot of my supporters could attest to that, because the music that I've released so far, they seem to really like it.
So this spiritual awakening that you have come to, give me a comparison, the Sedale before that and the Sedale now, in terms musically, and even personally, what is that core that you have changed?
Well, I think musically, I used to overlook a lot of stuff in music, anywhere from pitches to keys, how to sing certain things, inflections, breathing. So me stepping back from the soca industry and actually learning music, learning how to execute my lyrics and so on, even performing as well, I think that's what my sabbatical helped me do. I never really came out and considered myself a natural singer. It's something that I had to work on. I have a distinct voice, but I had problems controlling it. And you won't hear a lot of artists talking about their weaknesses, but I like to speak about these things because a lot of artists, they usually see the end product and they don't see the work that goes in. When you see Beyonce or Jay-Z on stage, you see the finished product. You don't see the work that they put in behind the scenes. So I like to kind of shed light on that to let, up-and-coming artists and even established artists know that you have to put a lot of work in order to get the desired results that you want.
Are you now beginning to consider yourself to be the artist and business person at the same time?
Yeah, definitely. I have a degree in business administration and marketing, and of course, me being into music as well, I like to fuse the two and incorporate them into my music. And of course, the business side of things, I've launched the apparel, and the apparel is doing very well. I think when I started the apparel, I never really intended to sell. It was just shirts that me and my friends used to make. It was our little crew, and people used to inquire about it. And eventually, we decided to take a more business approach to the apparel. We started since 2009, and now every year we've definitely grown as a brand. And this year, we've put out a full line, which includes dresses, crop tops, shirts, even swimsuits for the ladies. So the business side of it is very, very important. I even actually had a conversation with one of the artists from St. Lucia, KO, who's a rapper, and he told me the apparel and merchandising plays a substantial role in his revenue. So from a business perspective, if you could make money on merchandising, it's definitely something you should look into.
But it also helps generate interest in you as a brand, as an artist.
Exactly.
Because people now have something to connect you to.
Right. And that's a very important point that you made. The brand has definitely boosted my popularity, I would say. The brand, when I sought out to make the brand, I wanted the brand to survive independently of me. And if you happen to know that I'm an artist and I'm part of the brand, it's just a bonus. But in the event that, I make music and nobody likes it, I still want the brand to still thrive on its own.
What are some of the challenges that you've had to overcome?
I think one of the biggest challenges for up-and-coming artists is the expense involved with music. Music is very expensive. You have to pay writers, you have to pay producers, you have to pay engineers, you have to pay to record your music. Also, you have to promote the music. Promoting the music is another aspect of releasing music and creating music. And the promotion of it is very expensive as well. In my situation, I can tell you, you know, I have to pull in all my resources to get music done. But I would like to encourage our artists not to let that deter you. We like to say at DTS that we are very solutions oriented. And if you're passionate about something, generally speaking, you won't let stuff like money get in the way of you, carrying out your passion and so on.
And business-wise, because a lot of young people think, oh gosh, I can't really start a business.
Right.
But there you had an idea and you were doing it really for fun with friends.
Right.
And voila, there you basically had a sort of cash cow right in your hands.
Right.
So is the point for someone to be aware of their surroundings, aware of the talents that they have, and not just see it as a side thing, but how you can really make it materialize?
Right. I think it definitely, you have to explore your talents. I think that's something that a lot of us overlook. And we also have to have the courage to execute our talents. I think I could have probably started singing since 2005. I started in 2007 because I didn't realize I had the talent. And even when I did realize it, sometimes I was a bit deterred and intimidated. So it's very important for artists to definitely challenge themselves and to have the courage to do what's in their hearts. Social media plays a very important part in how I network. I also try to, on the ground, when I meet artists or producers personally, try to introduce myself, try to get acquainted with them, because a lot of the game is networking. I've had the pleasure of meeting a lot of artists, reputable artists and producers, and having a chance to work with them. Guys like Skinny Fabulous, I did a song with him in 2012. I consider Skinny a friend now because I met him for another friend of mine and we developed a relationship. So I always urge artists to network. Don't, sometimes we have the tendency to have pride and not want to approach other people, but pride could hinder a lot of progress. So sometimes you just have to put yourself out there and just try to connect with as many people as possible. My first release for the season is entitled Bumper Hunter. It was produced by Lebo and Horseface. It really came about when I went to Lebo's studio. He played the rhythm for me. I went home. I was kind of inspired to write that particular subject because of a friend of mine. So I wrote the song, went back to Lebo, sang it for him, he liked it. Then we proceeded to record the song. I also have to definitely give Lebo a big shout out because Lebo definitely worked with me, helped me execute the song how it's supposed to be done. Because when I went to him initially, the song sounded different, and he definitely molded me and taught me how to execute the song properly. And he's has been a mentor to me.